Good day. I believe this is day 5. I believe this is day 5. What am I doing here? I'll show you. I rebuilt all that. Then I had to work on the Chevelle. I need to separate the tail light pan from the old trunk floor. And I've got to go inside and separate all this and from the wheel wells and all the way up front. Mike got a good start on it. Oh, good. He's off gallivanting down to the coast today. So, well, I'm waiting for Steve from Wireworks. He's going to be here today. I'm going to finish trimming out this floor. I'm using an air chisel instead of drilling all this. I mean, I could use a heat gun, heat up this glue, this factory goop, and then you wire brush it and all your spot welds show up, and then you get to drill off all these freaking spot welds. Well, some of this is rusty and needs to be replaced. I'm using an air chisel from the inside. Now, the thing about using an air chisel, you see how the end of it's beveled? Okay. So, the metal I'm going to save, I put the flat spot. And it angles up to the metal that I'm chopping off. This does less damage. So I'll be going inside this trunk. We're saving the tail light panel. So the flat spot will be up. And I'll just be popping these spot welds like this. And they should just pop off. And once I get them, then I might just zip cut this chunk off so it's out of the freaking way. And then I've got to chop all the way around the wheelhouses, both sides, get this cleaned out so that I can prep to put in brand new freaking floor. Body mounts are still bolted up. I got to get rid of them. Yeah, I'm almost done with the plague. Feeling a little better. Air chisels are most annoying when you're not the person using them. So I'm trying to get most of the heavy chiseling done before Steve shows up. Not out of the woods yet, apparently. Don't need that. Okay, I'm gonna chisel it. See, we're replacing the new drop-offs in the trunk here. Oh, that's cool. So, bearings. So I'm not worried about damaging this part really. I'm going to see if I can air chisel it from the outside. I could probably take a little more of that. Actually, I need to crawl in and maybe do some air chiseling from standing inside. I'm just going to grab some gum. Okay. Sharp metal everywhere. gotta go inside the car, chisel the front of that piece. And I gotta go outside the car, undo the body mounts across the back, and I gotta air chisel the ends of this beam that has the female part of the freaking body mount in it. Oh yeah. That's cool. Yeah. See that wrap? You tighten up the frame, you can see it pull up to the body instead of pulling the body down. There isn't a lot of strength in here. So you can see how much this dropped the minute I cut through that end of the beam. Not a big deal, it's just kind of funny how it works. So now I cut the other end off. Let's see what happens there. See that? This is a cage, rusted away. I guess I'll cut that off. And I haven't decided if we'll use the torch or not. I guess I gotta put out this fire. Yeah, it's not burning much. Yeah, I gotta torch that a bit more. Gotta torch that a bit more. Okay, a little bit of trimming in here. And the same on the other side. Now, this drop off, we're getting new ones. So I don't really have to save it. But I might. Gotta think on that one. You can lower the car down so I can reach in, pop the last two spots, and that's it. Clean up some here so I can slide in the new floor. I might have to do a repair on the frame here, seeing it's really easy to do right now. Yeah. So I shall slide that in and go around the front. And on these cars, they have a couple of these that sit right up here. They're just cushions. They don't actually have bolts going through. So we see this. I'm gonna cut a piece of steel for that. So, theoretically here, I could slide in that floor. I'm going to grind some of this, even though this is getting cut off and replaced. Just for the ease of fitment, I'll grind this stuff off here. Make sure everything's in too far. A little bit over here. And then the new one will just slide right in. And I have to do some grinding under here and across there and all the way around here. So I'm just going to make room so it can sit down, and I'm going to replace these two holes. Here's what's left of the mount. I'm considering this back cross member. Kind of thinking we should just cut it out. Easy to hammer straight and weld it back in. I can find the measurements between this hole and this hole pretty much anywhere, and then repair this, put it back in place straight, and weld it back in place. And I should probably do that before I stick the floor in. But I really want to put the floor in, but I'm gonna have to hang tough on that for a bit. So, pretty thick. These are the pieces that I've trimmed out already to fit in the frame, there and there. So I'm gonna weld them in, and then I can slip this floor in after I do a little bit of detail grinding. So we're making time. Okay, I'm about to weld, repair the rust damage within the top of this frame. Ground everything out. I'm happy with the fit. Almost. So, there, take that. So, I'm either gonna hammer that straight and weld it back in, or I'm gonna find a used one. But now, I'm gonna try to stick the floor in. Before I stick the floor in, I've got a hole punch. A bunch of stuff down the sides. With my Pat's Auto hole punch. Okay. Yeah, so this body's got to come way up. Bike. Holy. That can't be the right trunk floor. The reason I say that, this is all flat. The GTO comes way up in the middle. So either I grabbed the wrong one. It says GTO 6869. Well, that's surprising. So what I'm looking at here is this comes up about 2 inches. I don't see that happening here. So, I mean, I can make it work, sure. I just didn't expect to have to finesse it that much. There's where I'm going, but I'm not going anywhere until I figure this out. So I'm gonna have to undo more of the body and lift up the back of the body, looks like 2 inches, 2.5. I was hoping if I pulled up the front of the floor, that would be enough. So I jacked up the floor, but the tubs get narrower as they get taller, it looks like. So I mean, I could just cut out this, cut the tail light pan right out. Not a big fan of that, but I've done weirder things. So I don't freaking know. So I can undo body mount bolts and try to lift up the body off of the frame to slip this panel in, but it's on a 2-post and I consider that a little bit precarious. I can't set it down on its wheels because it has none on the front, and I have the plague. So I think I'm gonna do about 2.5-inch cut here and here, right through the tail lights. Then I'm gonna go to the bottom corners here and over here. I'm just gonna take this whole panel out, maybe, yeah, and slip the panel in. Then I can weld this back in, because that's the quickest, easiest, safest way under my current predicament here. And then I think I'm going to go and hold down my couch. I'm worried that it may travel, so I will park myself on it and hold it until tomorrow, where I'll be much smarter. Oh wait, before I cut it, I'm going to stick this in here on the off chance that it might stay. And it may not, but whatever, we'll get her back. Now, a couple of SoLV cuts down here. Okay, so I gotta pick it up now, go underneath, and hammer with the TT108. Get this top to head, and then I can put that back in. It's in. Now I'm gonna lower it down. Show you the part I don't like. So it's in, which means this back in theory. Yes, it fits up there. I've got to put the body mounts back in. This side's sitting up higher. If I put the body mounts in, it sits in relation to the frame better, and then brings that side up a long way. Then I got to lift the quarter up until this lines up again, and I got to put the tail lights in. Let me show you. So the way to make sure I'm doing it right. Now this isn't right, but it's supposed to be for this car. So naturally I'll be cutting some of this out, making a piece that goes up to catch on. It's quite a discrepancy. This, well, we're only down, hell, it's only 1.5 inches. So I will lift up the body, but first I will lift up the floor because it needs a body mount in here. So it's all just metal. It'll all go back where it belongs. It just takes a little bit of finesse. So I think I'll jack it around and get this tacked in. Just so when Mike walks in, he doesn't go, "What in the actual hell are you doing, Blair?" Oh yeah. Okay. Does this fit in there anymore? Yeah, it does. That's good. So I'll put a jack in from here to lift this up where it belongs. But first I gotta put body mounts in under here. And I got them inside the car. And the trunk still closed. Yes. There. It's back in. So, I'm good.
The next day.
All right, we have a new dash. Mike got a new dash. Got to change everything over. Mike will get all cranky with me if I do this wrong. Okay, this has got to go, wait a minute, gotta go like that. So I'm gonna get a carbide. This is the convertible top switch. So it's got to fit in there. And there's not much room for air.